What's up, YouTube? This is Joe, the 50-something Dasher, with another video here. And I've got not one, but two shocking stories to tell in this video. So I'll start off with the feature story and then finish at the end of the video with the other shocker and some kind of interesting stories like in between. So this should be a good one. You'll want to try to stick around for the whole video on this one. But let's get my photos in the foreground here and get started. I'll start with the feature story, the Deliver That order. So yesterday, and real quickly, I want to apologize. I decided last minute to do a screen recording on the iMac rather than editing the photos in. I got kind of lazy last second. So if the audio and video isn't the best, I apologize, for my laziness today. But, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on this video. So my apologies. I'm just being real here. So the Deliver That. So yesterday, after my dash, after I posted yesterday's video, I'm just sitting in the next room, minding my own business, watching TV or whatever. I had the Deliver That app on and I was available. And I got an alert saying that there was a job offer for me. Now, I didn't quickly reach for my phone and start tapping the phone as quickly as I could to get the order. No, that's not what I did. Okay, hopefully I didn't mess up my phone here doing that. I didn't. No, I remained calm. All I did, I just picked up my phone and I opened back up Deliver That and look, and it said, 0 jobs, 1 available offer. And then I scrolled up and in my offers tab, there was an offer sitting there. And I just accepted it, and just nice, easy, movements with my hands and my phone and touching the buttons. No, I didn't have to hurry and race and scramble. And I was like, wow, no, wait a minute here. I was like, this isn't how it's been up to this point. Did they send that offer just specifically to me? And that's why I was just casually pick up the phone and open the app and go into the offer. I had all kinds of time to go to that offer, which led me to believe that it was maybe just sent to me. I don't know. I don't know. I've only done a few deliveries so far with Deliver That. What was today my fourth one, something like that, whatever it was. So I'm still new at it. I don't know all the ins and outs, but that's what it appeared to me, that it was just sent to me. So, hey, great. If that's what the case was, then great. So I accepted it. I looked at it. I didn't take any screenshots. Probably should have, but I didn't. And it didn't look too bad. It was $20 tip plus an estimated $5 commission from Deliver That. So estimated 25 bucks. And I had to be at Bibby Bop at 10:40 this morning and deliver just a couple miles away to the hospital area. Is actually a medical building down the street from it, but and had to be there at 11. And now it was almost $300 worth of food, so that was a little bit concerning. But I figured, well, I got my wagon, and time, even though it's $300, time-wise, this shouldn't take much more than a half hour. I wouldn't imagine. Half hour, 45 minutes for 25 bucks. Let's do it. So I kept that order in my queue for today, and got to the Bibby Bop about I was there about 9 minutes early, but actually they were still working on it. I had to wait till about, I didn't get out of there till about 3, 4 minutes after the pickup time. So I had like, it was about like a 12-minute long wait in the Bibby Bop. Got the order. Very first time I used my DeliverThat bags. So this came in 2 sacks with both of them fit in the DeliverThat blue bags. First time I've used them. And then, wheeled those out to my car in the wagon, and then got to the delivery point, and no problems with the delivery. And there you see the picture, the setup. Actually, the staff worker, she's the one that arranged those. I basically just helped, like, getting the stuff out of the sacks, and like, as I was getting stuff out of the sacks, she was kind of arranging. And she was cool with me letting me take my pictures. I always had to take 2 pictures with DeliverThat because all the problems I've had with the app. So I take one first on my camera roll, and then a second picture like in the app. So I have a backup, just in case I had problems with the app. And then that was it. And I actually got back to my car, like, it was pretty much like right at 11, and that was the delivery time. So all totals, start to finish, this took, I left, and this is from when I left the apartment here at about 10:25, and got back to my car following the delivery at 11. So 35 minutes to make the $25. So that works for me. Now to the start of the dash. Or I actually had 2 DoorDash shifts today, and sandwiching this DeliverThat order. So let's get to those. Start time for the first dash was 5:59 in the morning. Couple declines right off the bat. $12, 12.7 IHOP. Going northeast of Columbus, not doing this one. Then no explanation needed here. $3.50, 5.5 mile McDonald's. Again, no explanation. Then the first order I took. So a little bit scary that you see the one delivery is in Columbus, but that's like south of downtown. So I wasn't real concerned about this. 2 orders, 14 items, $19. Hey, before 7 o'clock in the morning, I get this offer for, you might as well say $20, rounding up, 17 miles. So let's go ahead and do this, and I'll get off to a good start here money wise. Like I said, even though the one is kind of further away, let's go ahead and do it. Now, the problem is I get inside the store and take a look at customer B here, party items. So it's like, here we go again. So you see here the 2 different kinds of balloons. The one on top, there's no location given. And then the bottom one, that G12, that's in the party section, which I'm assuming the other ones are going to be in that section too, but I don't know for sure. It could be somewhere else. It could be with the flowers, or it could be like somewhere else in the store. I don't know. And then some party like cutlery, black, forks and knives and spoons. And then this hat, which that ended up not being, that was the only item of the 4 customer B items that I found, was that hat. That's pretty easy. That was in sporting goods actually. But The first customer, I shopped that first. And that was easy. You see the Sprite here on this screenshot, and then there was some cat food, and the rest of it was in the grocery section, and it was real easy. Just took a few minutes, and I had customer A shopped, and then I started on B. I got, like I said, I got that hat, and then I went up towards the party stuff, looked for that cutlery first, and I was in that aisle G2 and couldn't find it. And then I started looking at the empty pegs, and I saw where that was supposed to go, and of course it was empty. So I marked it as unavailable. Customer was notified, and before I did anything else, before I started looking for the balloons or doing anything else, I'm like, oh, wait a minute here. Let me check something. Is this customer? I've already got A shopped. Is customer B the longer distance one? Because if it is here, I might be better served just to drop this order and just stick with the one order. Sure enough, customer B was that longer distance one. So I'm like, I've already been in this store over 10 minutes, and I'm going to be better off just dropping this order and delivering the one close one. And, this other order is not going to be worth my time. I was worried about finding those balloons. So I got on the app, and then I was doing my drop, and I put in like the explanation for the drop. I just put something like, you know, multiple hard to find and out of stock items combined with the long distance for the delivery, and the pay for this order is not going to be worth my time. So I put something to that effect in the comment box, and dropped the order. Um, Closed out the app and reopened it so that I could just have the one order in there. And when I did that, I had to rescan all of customer A's items again. So I was already at the self checkout by this point, and and then, like I said, I had to stand there in my cart, and it wasn't that many items. It was like, what was it? Uh, well, that's 9 total. It says on that screenshot, 4 for customer B, so 5 items for customer A. So I just had to scan 5 different things. Um, and then check out, and then I delivered that, the close order. It was just like, maybe not even 2 miles from the Meyer. Easy delivery. And then drop that off at 7:25, and then I got, right as I was dropping that off, I got another order. So this 7:25 6 mile McDonald's, and I went ahead and took this. So it ended up almost working out to be the same situation. I got like for about right around the same amount of money as the original offer. So, oh, I should back up. Okay, so I dropped off the Meyer order. That paid $11. So that was 11 out of the 19. So the one going to Columbus was only $8, and I could pretty well guess that was more than likely $8 from DoorDash and a 0 tip. So I would be willing to bet. I bet I'd probably be about 80% sure that was a 0 tip order, and glad to drop it. Okay, so $11. Now I get this for 7.25, so that's almost about the same amount of money. So now we're talking 18.25 instead of 19, and I got one long distance order, but this is totally different. This is going to Southern Point instead of downtown Columbus. totally different. So, I took this order and ran it down there. That only took, this took 16 minutes, start to finish, this McDonald's order. From getting the offer, getting the McDonald's, it was pretty much ready right away. Drove it down there, 16 minutes done. And I believe on my way back, let's see. So that was at 7:42, and there's the payout on the McDonald's, $3.25 and $4 customer tip. So 7:42. So I guess it was a while before. Oh, I remember now. I came back to the Meijer and I wasn't. I remember now. Wasn't getting any offers or anything. And at one point, I even went into Meijer and went to the bathroom and bought like a sandwich. Come back to the car, ate my sandwich, and as I was finishing that up, that's when I get this order. $20.90, 16 items. Almost 13 miles. Now this is going more south, further south than Commercial Point, down to South Bloomfield. This is like almost to where my wife works. And I don't go down here too often. I don't get too many offers to go down there, and sometimes I'll take them for the right price. And might as well say $21. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I hadn't gotten an offer, like I said, in several minutes, so I went ahead and took this. It was an easy shop. Most of it was up at the front of the store in the frozen section, and a couple loaves of bread. They wanted a rotisserie chicken, but it was too early in the morning. They didn't have any of those out. I was able to refund that item. Customer gave me that option. And then two 24 packs of Mountain Dew. Pretty easy. I had this shopped in no time. And traveled down to South Bloomfield. This took all total 44 minutes. Here's the payout on that: $10.25 from DoorDash, $10.65 tip. Something else. Oh, I know what I was going to say about this order. So, like I said, I've done some deliveries down there, and I thought this was going to kind of like a housing community that I delivered to before, and I turned into that community. But this time I kept driving like past the community and out of it and down another road and come to a trailer park that I never knew was there, never seen it before, and that's where this ended up delivering to, was a trailer park. So, but it was pretty nice place. The trailers were well marked. Some of these trailer parks, it's hard to differentiate the trailers. These were all well marked, and no problems at all with this delivery. And then I'm on my way back, and a lot of time when I go down to make these deliveries down south and I'm coming back, sometimes I'll get an order when I'm on my way back to zone, and that's what happened here. I get a 1025 9-mile target, only one item, which was kind of interesting. Maybe only one time before have I got a one item target. So I was curious to what this would be, and I went ahead and took the order. Because of my DeliverThat order, I just scheduled this first batch just until 10. And I figured this order right here would take me right about until 10 o'clock range or whatever. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I was low on gas, and there's a there's a gas station that I've gone to before that's near that drop off. So let's go ahead and do this. And I was on the phone with my wife for the entirety of doing this order, and we were trying to guess, okay, what could the one item be? You know, we thought maybe diapers. I guessed formula, can of formula. So we thought it could be diapers, could be formula. What could it be? The suspense, it's probably killing you guys too right now, right this moment. What could the one item possibly be? Well, I'll show you. Maxi pads. And then my wife was like, oh my God. I like the customer note on this. Please make sure the substitute is by Always brand and is thick pads. And I got, I was thinking to myself, I was like, lady, I'll do my best. Okay, that's all I can say. I'll do my best on this shop. I know that's why I've always said before they should. I'm sorry, but it's just my personal opinion. They should just give these orders to female shoppers or female dashers. I still hold true to that opinion. That's just me. But I mean, you got thin and thick, and ones like I had like yesterday. I had to get ones that are made of cotton, and you got like wings and no wings and this and that, and it's pretty complicated to me anyway. But fortunately, I found these. Found these right away, and even if I was going to struggle, there was a female associate stocking the shelves right there standing next to me in that aisle. So I was covered. I was good on this order. I go to deliver this to a kind of scary apartment complex. As soon as I got off the exit, off the interstate, and seen how much mileage was left, I've pretty much could guess where I was going, and I was right. And it was a hand to customer. My wife was a little bit surprised about that, but it was listed as hand to customer. I knocked on the door, and the lady was kind of like, hiding behind the door, and got the order from me, and I almost couldn't believe this, but a $2.50 tip. How it's like, how can you save someone's life like this, and they only give you $2.50? I don't know. It is what it is, but thank you, DoorDash, for the $7.75. Appreciate it very much. And then, so like I said, I logged off at this point. So DoorDash dash number 1, you see there 3 hours and 55 minutes active, 211 of that, 4 deliveries, $49.40. Logged off of that, went, got my gas. Stopped here at home only for 5 minutes. Just went to the bathroom, got some more of my drink, and basically got back in my car and off to Bibby Bob. And of course, I told that story. Okay, so now we've delivered the Bibby Bob. I'm still in that parking lot where that delivered, and I kick on DoorDash for a second dash right there in that parking lot. And so the start time was 11:02. I only had to sit there 4 minutes. And look at this order that I got right off the bat, start of lunchtime. $6 with a hidden tip going not even 2 miles from Burger King. And I'm like, wait a minute. And this ended up being the Burger King on 665s. Oh, sweet, they're back on DoorDash. This particular location, it's a new Burger King. It just opened probably right around the time, or a little bit, maybe a month or two before I started dashing in December of 22. So that's about the time that it opened. And when I first started dashing, this Burger King was on DoorDash. Not for very long, just maybe only a couple 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. And then I stopped getting orders from there, and only would get the other two Burger King locations. And then now all of a sudden today they must be back on there, and I get this order. So I'm off to Burger King, and the order's pretty much ready right away. But as I'm picking it up, I get a second order for another 750 for an additional 4 miles. So um, so yeah, you're talking now at least. And even if that hidden tip had only been a quarter, oh, okay, so you're talking two orders for what is that? Let's just say $14, driving a little over 5 miles. I mean, this was a great stack right here. So I went ahead and took the second one. The problem is that my first order was done, ready, and everything. I took that out to the car. This one was one that just came across, and they hadn't even started that one yet. And so I had to wait. It wasn't too long, maybe like 5 minutes, something like that. And I was looking up at the menu, and I was on the phone with my wife. I was telling her some of the menu items they had in there. They had this Adams Family items on the menu, and like a Whopper sandwich. It was on a purple colored bun and this kind of stuff. And so I'm talking about this. So now all of a sudden my wife wants McDonald's on her way to work. So as I'm standing there, she makes her way up to McDonald's. I'm still waiting when she gets into the drive-through line, places her order. I don't see her until my order's done. This 750 order. So I'm coming out of the door, and then my wife's rounding the corner and to get in front of the building, and like stops. We wave at each other. Then she starts blowing me kisses. The problem is that there was a car parked in between our two cars, and a guy sitting in that car. So then, my wife's blowing those kisses, and then sees that guy, and then she gets embarrassed. She's like, "Oh crap! I hope this stranger didn't think that I was, blowing kisses to him." It's pretty funny. Um, but anyway, and also I had to ask her permission that I could tell that story in this video. So I deliver the hidden tip order, and look at this, $9.20. So I thought the hidden tip was just going to be like a quarter, but they hid over $2 of that. So just for picking up and going right back down the street to my number one customer, that's where this delivered. Only I was, instead of early in the morning, I was going there later in the afternoon, and it was a different guy. Um, he didn't put in the instructions, my number one customer, in his instructions, it says what department to go to. This customer did not do that. So this guy could have been in any one of 5 or 6 different departments in this place, and so I was kind of worried about that. But I went to where I normally go, And this customer was the first guy I ran into. He saw me. He was like, "Hey, is that order for so and so?" I was like, "Yeah," and it's, so it worked out. And then it's on to the second customer. So you see, I delivered this at this first one at 11:26. So that just took 20 minutes, and again, some of that time was because I had to wait on that second order. And then delivered the second order 12 minutes later, for 750. So yeah, $17, and start to finish, this just took like 32 minutes. So yeah, that was a really good stack. Um, then I get immediately after dropping this off, I get a Piata order, which I wasn't I was about to drop this as soon as I saw this 642 and 6 miles, and the fact that it's Piata. I mean, this had drop written all over it, but I looked at that pin and I kind of zoomed in. I said, "Where is this going?" It was coming here. It's coming home. So that's the only reason I took this. I was like, well, yeah, let's go ahead and head back home. That sounds like a good idea. I went over to Piata, got it, come back here. Um, the customer this ended up not being a big deal, but the customer had in the delivery instructions extra sauce on the side. And I know other gig tubers have talked about this, but I kind of wish DoorDash would do something where you have, like, they separate this out, where you see customer pickup instructions earlier, and stuff like that is not in the delivery instructions. See, I didn't look at that at all when I went in the store, picked up the order. Then I come back to my car and start the delivery and look at my delivery instructions and see that. And I'm not the only dasher that does this. Um, so they really need to separate that out. But I delivered this, and nothing was said, and it ended up being no big deal or whatever. I did have problems at the delivery point with a signal for some reason. I don't know. And even when I got back here to my apartment, I was having some kind of signal issue with my phone, even parked in my own garage. For I don't know what the heck was going on. But I couldn't send my messages that I send to hand to customer orders. I couldn't send those. And I'm getting all frustrated. I pull into my garage, and I'm still fiddling around with turning on the Wi-Fi and connecting and trying to resend the messages. Finally, I just had to like close out this order, and I had to close it out and select the reasons that there was bad signal at the drop off, and uh, so yeah, that's kind of frustrating. There's the pay on that, 425 and a $2.17 tip. Um, and then that was it. And then I just had drops after that. I had a $10.25, but this is 17 and a half miles. So I'm not doing that one. I think I had like two more drops here. 1350. Again, an 18 miles Burger King going to South Bloomfield, but I'd already made one trip down there. I'm not driving down to South Bloomfield twice in one day. Once was enough. And this is only paying 13.50. The other one was paying almost $21. And then so I decided on there's a little farmer's market near our home, and I decided to get that for lunch. And so I'm in my car driving. I'm still logged in, and I figure if I get an order before I get to the farmer's market, maybe I'll do it, or if not, I'm going to log off. I'm making my way to to the farmer's market, and this order comes across 325 for 8 miles, and decline and log off. So you know, three straight bad orders. I'm not going to keep, you know, doing any more declines. It's going to go ahead and log off here. And then, so here is the dash summary for the second dash. Logged in for an hour and 18 minutes, active 52 minutes, 3 deliveries, $23. So all total, I just about made goals. So it was, what was it, $23.25 and let's just say 49. 97, 98 bucks, you know, pretty much right there on goal. And then okay, so so the dash is over and everything. I get home, I'm like updating my DoorDash spreadsheet and everything. And then I mentioned there were 2 shockers today. The other shocker was, and I'd almost like forgotten about DoorDash customer ratings like in recent weeks and months, but there was a change to my customer rating. Wow. I mean, okay, so what happened was a 2-star that I earned on February the 8th. So we're talking it's almost November here. We're talking almost something that I earned like 9 months ago, almost, fell off today. That's ridiculous. To have to hold on to something like that for 9 months. I earned that when I was at 2,607 deliveries, and today I'm at 3,404. It took 9. You might as well say 9 months and 800 deliveries for that 2-star to fall off. Folks, I've talked about it before. Scroll through my past videos, the whole list. Scroll through them. Find the videos where I talk about customer ratings. I've talked about this before, but they need to do something about this and fix this. You know, why a rating like that, you have to be penalized for that long of a time period and have to make that many fucking 800 deliveries before it falls off. Come on. That's just like, that's as severe as it gets. I just unbelievable. I seen other gig tubers that say, well, if you're worried about that, then ask customers for ratings. Send them a message, say, hey, if you like my service, give me a 5-star, blah, 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 blah. Basically beg for ratings. That's just not my style. That's just not how I do things. I'm not going to beg people for ratings. I'm not going to beg for tips. That type of thing. That's not how I operate. I just, that's just me and my opinion. I think DoorDash should change something about the way they do that. So a couple other facts here that I wrote down, interesting facts about the customer rating, my customer ratings. The last change that I had at all to my customer ratings happened April the 18th. You're talking over 6 months ago was the last time there's been any change whatsoever to my customer ratings. Over 6 months. and that was at 2,958 deliveries. Again, I'm at 3,404 now. That's, what is that, like somewhere around 450 deliveries ago. That's insane. And what happened on the 18th was a 1 star fell off. So that put me at a 4.94, and it's been unchanged for 6 months until today. 2 star falls off. Now I'm at a 4.97. And then the last negative rating earned was the day before April 18th. So the 17th, I earned a 4 star. So that was the last time that I've earned any kind of a negative rating. And that was at 2,947 deliveries. But yeah, pretty crazy. In fact, it was so different and so shocking that when I saw that change, and when I went into my spreadsheet to update that, it had been so long ago, I forgot exactly the steps I took on my spreadsheet to update a ratings change, because I haven't done it in 6 months. Crazy. But anyway, that is it for today's gig work. And one last programming note here is that no dashing for the rest of this week, because yesterday afternoon the W2 called and scheduled me in for tomorrow and Friday. So I'm working tomorrow through Monday now at the W2. So no gig work or videos until unless something drastic changes, until at least this coming Tuesday. But anyway, that is it for now. Thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we will catch you next time. Hopefully next week. We'll see you again.